Look up at the night sky. Thousands of stars, each a distant sun, perhaps with planets of its own. Do you ever wonder, why are we here, on this small planet, spinning through the vastness of space? What is the point of it all, this life, this universe, this existence? The question echoes through millennia. It is a question that has haunted philosophers, captivated theologians, and driven scientific exploration. These questions have puzzled humanity for centuries, and while there may not be straightforward answers, exploring different perspectives can help us better understand our beliefs and the world around us to form new beliefs derived from the evidence. Welcome to our channel. As seen in the last video, we have looked through the existence of one God, which is an integral part of knowing the answer to the meaning of life. By the evidence, we get to know that one God does exist. So now let's go through the religions of Abrahamic religions by exploring and examining Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, which will provide the true way of living and lead us to get the answer to the meaning of life. First, let's see what they are. Judaism is an Abrahamic, monotheistic, and ethnic religion that comprises the collective spiritual, cultural, and legal traditions of the Jewish people. Christianity is an Abrahamic monotheistic religion based on the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. Islam's submission to the will of God is an Abrahamic monotheistic religion centered on the Quran and the teachings of Muhammad, the religion's founder. Now it's time for their interconnections. All three religions believe in a single, all-powerful, and all-knowing God. They each have a different name for God: YHWH in Judaism, God in Christianity, Allah in Islam, but the concept of monotheism is central to all. Abraham is a key figure in all three religions. In Judaism, he is the founding patriarch. In Christianity, he is seen as a model of faith. In Islam, he is a prophet and the ancestor of Muhammad through his son Ishmael. However, their main difference is in their concept of God. Both Judaism and Islam are both strictly monotheistic. While Christianity is too monotheistic, its belief is in a one God in three persons. Since we found the outlier Christianity, if there is one God in three persons, Christianity is the true religion. If not, then it must be the other two religions. The only way in which we can find that out would be by inspecting the resurrection of Jesus, because if Jesus didn't rise from the dead, he is indeed not the Son of God, but if he did rise from the dead, then there must be one God in three persons at work. Then the question arises, did Jesus rise from the dead? Let's see the arguments for and against Jesus' resurrection. Arguments against Jesus' resurrection. 1. Naturalistic explanations. Swoon theory. Some suggest Jesus didn't die but was merely unconscious and later revived in the tomb. Stolen body theory. Others propose that Jesus' body was stolen from the tomb, either by his disciples or someone else, leading to the empty tomb. Hallucination theory. Some argue that the post-resurrection appearances were hallucinations or visions experienced by his followers due to grief and stress. 2. Contradictory accounts. The gospel accounts of the resurrection contain differences and contradictions in details such as the number and identity of the women at the tomb, the nature of the angelic appearances, and the order of Jesus' post-resurrection appearances. Critics argue that these inconsistencies undermine the reliability of the accounts. 3. Lack of contemporary corroboration. There are no contemporary Roman or Jewish records that confirm the resurrection. Critics argue that such an extraordinary event should have been documented outside the Christian sources. 4. Plausibility in miracles. Skeptics argue that resurrection is a miraculous event that contradicts our understanding of natural laws. Without strong, independent evidence, they find it more plausible to seek natural explanations. 5. Psychological and sociological factors. The disciples' belief in the resurrection can be explained by psychological factors such as cognitive dissonance, where followers of a leader who dies or fails might reinterpret their experiences to maintain their faith. Social dynamics and the desire to preserve the movement can also play a role in the formation of resurrection beliefs. Arguments for Jesus' resurrection. 1. Historical evidence. Empty tomb. The empty tomb is widely reported in all four Gospels. Even some critics agree that the tomb was found empty, which needs an explanation. Post-resurrection appearances. Multiple accounts describe Jesus appearing to various individuals and groups after his resurrection. These appearances are recorded in different texts, adding to their credibility. Early Christian witness. The early Christians' rapid spread and willingness to die for their beliefs are often cited as evidence that they genuinely believed in the resurrection. 2. Transformation of the disciples. The disciples went from being scared and disheartened after Jesus' death to boldly proclaiming his resurrection, even facing persecution and martyrdom. This drastic change is often attributed to their genuine belief in having seen the risen Jesus. 3. Consistency and early sources. The resurrection accounts, despite variations, have a consistent core message. Some of these accounts, particularly the creedal statement in 1 Corinthians 15:3-8, are considered to be very early, dating to within a few years of the events. 4. Women as primary witnesses. The Gospels record women as the first witnesses to the empty tomb. In the cultural context of the time, women's testimonies were not highly valued, making it unlikely that the Gospel writers would invent this detail, thus adding to its credibility. 5. Lack of a body. Despite efforts to disprove the resurrection, neither the Roman authorities nor the Jewish leaders produced Jesus' body, which would have quickly quashed the resurrection claims. Now, this is the only time we can be sure that something like this has happened, as it's historically backed up. Unlike the investigations we have done before in the previous videos, all were merely arguments, but in this case we can be assured that this did happen. Now, the only objection to this historical fact is that it can't happen naturally. If we go through our last videos, we can easily solve this case. If truth does exist and is objective, if God does exist, and if one God does exist, putting all of this together, Jesus' life, historically accurate death justifies that a mere resurrection is more than possible. As if a God would have created the universe out of nothing for him to raise Jesus out of the dead is not an issue at all. I believe that Jesus did rise from the dead as seen from the evidence, which makes there being one God in three persons plausible. Thereby leads to the conclusion that Christianity is the true way of life, and also is a way through which we can finally get an answer to the meaning of life, which is defined in Christianity. All these religions have tremendously cultivated this world in various ways. But in the matter of getting the true answer to the meaning of life, it is through Christianity. In our upcoming video, we will finally answer the meaning of life, which is given by Christianity as being the true way of life. We invite you to join us on this journey of exploration and examination. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video with your friends and family. We also encourage you to comment respectfully and share your thoughts on this profound topic. Stay tuned for our next video, where we delve deeper into these fascinating perspectives on the meaning of life. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to discussing this topic with you.